Yes. It's okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. Sister. It's fine. Welcome back again. Now we are going to start off the morning Dhamma talk, especially the main Dhamma talk of this retreat. It's about Paccavekkhaṇā, the Pali word Paccavekkhaṇā. So we have to understand what does Paccavekkhaṇā mean at this point. Let me ask you, how many of you have encountered this Pali word before this retreat? Yeah. You can raise your hand. That means you are fully ignorant about it, aren't you? All right. Interesting. Now, Paccavekkhaṇā, the Pali word Paccavekkhaṇā, is the second thing that we have to do with regard to our sense experience. Sense experience means that through our senses we are acquiring things from outside. What are the senses? What are your senses? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Skin is not a part of no skin. But skin is the largest organ, right, in the body. So through the senses, what we are receiving from outside, now they are inside. What are we receiving from outside? Through the eyes, what are we receiving? Sights, images, sights. And then through the ears, what are we receiving? Sounds. Through the nose, what are we acquiring from outside? Smell. Through the tongue, what are we acquiring from outside? Taste. And through the body, what are we taking from outside? Body. What is it? Touch. And through the mind, what are we taking from outside? Thoughts. Okay. So there are 6 things that are involved with our sense experience. Normally what happens to us in our sense experience is external things that are coming to our senses are going to take us over. Not that our senses that are embedded, that are inside of us, are not going to be that powerful compared to the external ones. So normally our eyes are becoming very less dominant when the sights are coming to us. Right? What do you say? They are saying, I was flabbergasted. Something very bombastic thing came to me in my eyes. I don't know. And then there was a sound that I never heard that kind of a song. I was taken away by, they say, blown away. I was blown away by that musician, that singer. Maybe somebody who has been always abused in his or her household, and this person is to meet someone very nice and talk to that person, very kind, nice words. First day, the sound has become very dominant. And the smell, I have been very interested about the smell, maybe a perfume, maybe an aroma, right? Something like that. And the taste, I think the most difficult one, right? Taste. Taste means food, right? So, whenever a very new food is going to be experienced, something that someone has never ever tasted, and thinking, see, this restaurant was in my neighborhood. I never been there. Today, of course, I know. And then planning 7 days to go to 7 restaurants. Today this food, tomorrow that food, starting from the hawker store, and then ending up with another store. Thinking about, flipping around about the food experience. So much into the food taste experience. Right? And then the thoughts, mind and thoughts. Thoughts. Our thoughts become very dominant, or is our mind become dominant? Thoughts. Thoughts are very powerful. That's why the Buddha said it's not about the mind that you are concerned of, it's about the thoughts that you are to be concerned. So in the Satipatthana Sutta, Buddha said Chittanupassana. In the Dhammapada, Buddha said Chitta, 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 not Mano. This Mano idea is English Western idea, because they believe there is only one mind, especially from the philosophy, psychology. They talk about one mind. Buddhism says no, many minds, many thoughts. Lobha is a thought, dosa is a thought, moha is a thought, many minds. That's why we have to be very careful when we interpret, translate Buddhist things in English. Some people, they base in English and want to put everything under English. You cannot do that. You have to first understand the context of Pali. So we have many thoughts. I think Chittanupassana has almost 16 thoughts, if I'm not mistaken, 16 thoughts. So these are always giving us this sensory experience. Now you are having many experiences. Eye experience is happening now. You are looking at me, maybe looking at this TV, and you have ear experience. What about nose experience? Is anybody trying to have a nose experience? I don't think so. Not that much things, aromatic things over here. Probably the incense. It's gone already. So it's anicca. So it's gone already. And then food. I wonder whether you had. Maybe you had a very interesting cake just now. Did you bake that? No, you bought it. And then the body. Yeah, body, yeah. I don't know whether how comfy are you. Maybe you are seated on 2 cushions, one very large cushion and small cushion. It's not normal, right? It's not normal to be seated like this. And the mind, we don't know. Perhaps your mind might go to a place where you may normally go on Saturdays. Think about what do you normally do on Saturdays, Saturday morning this time, 9, 10, 11 o'clock. It might go. So we understand the nature of this sense experience. Then Paccavekkhaṇā is the second thing to do. Before that Paccavekkhaṇā, as Buddhists, we are supposed to do something else. What is it? Don't worry, I have notes. You can read anytime. The first thing to do is Yoniso Manasika. Number 1. In our Buddhist practice, it's not Noble Eightfold Path, it's not Sila Samadhi Panya, it's not chanting, it's not dana, Yoniso Manasika. Number 1. Now you might be interested about what is this? This is the icebreaker in the practice. Yoniso Manasikara. Without understanding Yoniso Manasikara, you may say, oh, Dhamma practice is very difficult. It's a very difficult practice. And some more, when you come to a vihara, there are lots of rules. You can't do this, you have to do this. Right? Right? And some people don't like to go to places. You see, Buddhist centers take away their peace. Young people say, do's and don'ts. I better be in my house. My house is free from everything. And people get to online activities, comfort zone, listening to Dhamma in the comfort zone. When you come to the Buddhist center, vihara, you are listening to Dhamma from a different zone. I hope it is your comfort zone too at a certain point. So Yoniso Manasikara is the first one. First thing. Yoniso. Yoni means, perhaps I can write down something here. You can see that? Good angle. Okay, good. Yoniso. This Pali word means origin. 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 Or you can say birth. Birth. But that's yoni. Then when so comes, from origin. Okay, yoniso. Then manasikara. Manasikara. What does manasikara means? In Pali, attention. Attention. Is attention very important in our life? Why? How important is that in our modern life? Huh? How important is attention in your modern life or our household? Are there a lot of arguments, problems happening when you don't listen to each other in your family, household? The people are saying that, I've been with you for 20 years, but still you don't understand me. Right? People are saying that. Still, after 20 years. So what you know like tiny bit of stuff, not very important stuff. Attention. That means we have to listen to people more than we talk. That is Dhamma. No, I don't want to hear you. I don't hear you. You listen to me. You never listen to me. And you too. Right? So attention. But what attention? Yoniso manasikara. So we are going to pay attention to the origin of the particular phenomenon. What phenomenon? Particular phenomenon. Say for instance, food. We take that one. Food experience. Food experience. It's a very interesting one. I assume you are not a foodie. You are not a foodie. There are people who are foodies. They have a different agenda. You are a normal person, but you still have to eat. Without eating, you cannot survive. That's a very interesting topic we can discuss later, because the Buddha said, eat in moderation. As Buddhists, you cannot overeat. That's why we printed and laminated something for you, in case you overeat. Spend some money on that, we worry about you. At the end of that paper, you see, I don't overeat today. Right? Perhaps the bento is a nice shape for that. The Japanese style, they don't overeat. So food experience. Okay, let's take this one. So how to go through a food experience with this Dhamma concept, Yoniso Manasikara? Now, what is happening to many people when they are going to eat? Can they eat without modern gadgets? That is something. They have to suppose to put away these modern gadgets. Because your elders might say, we bite more than we watch anything. We chew more than what we watch. Nowadays people don't chew the food. They chew the internet. They bite the internet, chew the internet, videos. They are not paying attention to the food. And then they are saying we are not eating healthy food. That is another problem. We are always taken away by the fast food. this processed food. So identifying what food you want to eat, because this is the starting point of many diseases, many health problems. Don't blame anicca. Finally, someone who has eaten bad, poorly, overeaten, then going to say what to do. This is anicca in the life. This is not anicca. This is something you haven't practiced. We call it eating in moderation. Another topic, we are not going to talk about it a lot. Eating in moderation. So now, how to practice this food experience with Yoniso Manasikara? You are giving attention to the food. And how am I going to eat? I want to chew as necessary. I want to understand how much food I am eating. Just because there are lots of food, I am not going to eat a lot. Right? And I eat as necessary. So it's going to be a Yoniso Manasikara practice with the food. Right? And if you take another example, say for instance someone done something wrong to you in your life. If that happened to you, there are people who are always going back to that past. Even when they see something, they reflect upon that thing, that particular bad experience. So you are going to see that particular phenomenon through Yoniso Manasikara. Why it happened? That person is not anymore with me. It's gone. Why do I have to worry about it? That's a good motivation every morning. Why do I have to worry? Write that tagline in your room, house. Why do I have to worry? Rather than saying I am worried, I have to worry, people have worried me. Why do I have to worry? Problem is solved. We don't have to. Then why should I be happy? On the other hand, so say for instance a bad experience, someone has done something wrong to you. So you are going to look at it from the origin of that particular phenomenon. How to do it? Origin means people misunderstand. Who started the problem? So I have to worry about myself. I have to retaliate. I have to take revenge. Sometimes something that happened without so much carefulness on the other person's side. We don't know. But we create our own story on that, which we don't understand sometimes. So how are we going to go to that kind of understanding? That is through using this Yoniso Manasikara, going to the origin, how it really may have happened. There may be a lot of things. It's not just become hypothetical. Rather, you try to think about what may have gone wrong. Let's say you go into a restaurant. The waitress or waiter is not doing the job happily. Maybe he or she had some problems with somebody in the household. But you are taking it in on your own way. How come I pay for you? You should serve me well. And you're becoming so mad, you go home, you write something bad on the internet. You complain. We don't understand those people. We don't have to complain. Different people go through different problems every day. So that understanding is possible if we bring Yoniso Manasikara into our daily activities. So it's very, very important. So Yoniso Manasikara is the tool that we use to understand what's going on daily basis. Nothing else. What's going on? It's like an iceberg. Iceberg. So what part of the iceberg is visible? Tip. Tip of the iceberg is visible. Probably lesser than this place. So it is like an iceberg. Looking at an iceberg. So we only look at a certain desired area of the scene, the phenomena. Then we make our own judgment. But we have to look at the whole thing. We are not able to look at the whole iceberg, but we are looking at the particular phenomenon, experience what happened with others in a full broad spectrum, so that we can minimize our daily problems. But without practicing this, people are asking us how to change other people. How to change other people? I have a very bad person in my household. Every day I am getting a lot of problems with that person. How to change? Have you practiced these things? This is one of the practices for this is metta meditation, metta. Right? So, Yoniso Manasikara is number 1. Okay, so we are going back to reflection. We call it Paccavekkhaṇā. I think these letters are too small to make it much better, right? Okay. Now, the second thing that we are supposed to do after Yoniso Manasikara is Paccavekkhaṇā. Okay? Makes clear. Second thing is Paccavekkhaṇā. Yeah. You can become a part of our Dhamma sharing too. Yes. This one too. Yeah. No, this one. Okay, till she erases this part, we are going to, probably we can follow the notes. Paccavekkhaṇā. Paccavekkhaṇā means reflection. What is Pacca? Pacca? This Pali word? Pacca? Repetition. Pacca means repetition. Pacca means repetition. Have you heard in Pali Suttas, Pacca Sosum, monks replied back. Vekkhaṇā means Avekkhaṇā. Pali word is Avekkhaṇā means, you can see, Avekkhaṇā means looking at the particular activity again. Reflection or Paccavekkhaṇā is the ability to recognize and evaluate the intentions, outcomes and drawbacks of our actions, speeches and thoughts before, during and after each activity. Are we doing that? Whenever we think, whenever we act, whenever we talk, do we reflect before what thoughts, what actions, what speeches that we are going to make, even during the time, even after? Are we doing that? Not that much. Then we are saying, oh, avoiding bad karma, avoiding akusala is very difficult, They are saying, because they don't know these things. They have not started their Dhamma journey in an orderly way. So, Paccavekkhaṇā means we have to reflect. That means we have to create an ability to see what we are talking, what we are thinking, what we are acting, before, during, after. Where did Buddha say this? Ambalattika Rahulovada Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 61. The Buddha says, Eva ko Rahula Paccavekkhitvā. Having reflected, Kayena Kammang, you should act. Having reflected, reflection. Second, Paccavekkhitvā Vācāya Kammang Kātam. Having reflected, you should talk. Paccavekkhitvā Manasā Kammang Katabba. Having reflected, you should think. Now you are learning something very new today. You may have thought Buddhism is only 5 precepts, just the Noble Eightfold Path, maybe a chanting, maybe a dana. This is how we have to think, we have to talk, we have to act. If you haven't done that, you haven't started your journey. Then where are you? You are somewhere. That's why you have to find it out some way. So now let's see. Don't worry about the Pali, I'm going to explain. Paccavekkhaṇā kāyaṁ. Kāyena kāyaṁ. Kammaṁ kātaṁ. Okay. Now Buddha says, having reflected, you should act. What are the actions we are doing? Actions. How many actions do we have in our normal life? 3 actions. Huh? What is that? Abstain from killing. I think we have to go the gentle way. This is harsh way. Buddha normally says he has 3 types of disciplining people. He trains people in 3 ways. Gentle way, harsh way, gentle, harsh way. Which one you want? I don't think you don't like harsh way. Huh? But harsh way doesn't mean Buddha is grabbing a stick and like in the Zen meditation. You know, Zen meditation. When you go for a Zen meditation retreat, they ask you to meditate, and there's a master who is checking everybody who is dozing off. And hit him behind and he says, think about my meditation. Zen meditation. That's their own way. Right? So, but the Buddha's way is different. Let's go to the gentle way. Gentle way means taking care of others and oneself. Is this the thing that we are supposed to do with regard to Pāṇātipata? Why do we say killing is bad, don't kill? Why we want to talk about killing? Let's talk about taking care of others and oneself. Then taking care of others' belongings and one's belonging. That means taking care of your belongings is also part of adinādāna. Remember that one lady who went to the airport, you have to put your baggages to screen. She also went inside. Then people are, why do you? Because I want to protect my belongings. I'm not sure. These security people, they might take my jewelry. And they were looking at somebody's inside the X-ray machine. Too much. So, adinādāna. Then, third one, kāmesu miccācāra. What is the good side of that? Respecting others' relationships. What relationships? Cordial, dear relationships. And not stepping over to, that is bad. Huh? You respect me, you don't step over to other people's relationships. These are the actions. Now, before we do, we have to paccavekkhaṇā. Having reflected only, we are going to do these things. Then we can stay on to these 3. How to do it in our daily life? Are you sure that you are very protected with your Dhamma activities when you spend the daily life? You don't have any thoughts of, you think that you always come up with thoughts of taking care of yourself and other beings? Or time to time certain disturbing thoughts can, especially now here, kaya kamma, activities. Are you doing some activities that are not really taking care of other people and others? What are they? If you do, what are they? We will start from a very mild example. You were nodding just now. Does that mean any example that you have? Now, I think it's clear, right? I'm asking, this is the state that we are supposed to practice. That means we have to take care of others and ourselves in the right, proper way. There should be a balance. But I'm asking, in your daily life, are you engaging in activities that are always taking care of others and yourself? Or are you sometimes acting on certain things that harm yourself and other people too? If so, what are those actions? Can I know? Huh? We haven't gone to the speech yet. Still actions. These three. What are those actions?
Don't recycle.
Huh?
Don't recycle.
Recycle. Recycle means?
We don't recycle.
Recycle. Can you give us more example?
Like you're supposed to put certain rubbish in the proper
Proper.
bin, but you just throw everywhere.
Okay. Yes, but it's not panatipata directly, but it has something. You are disturbing other people. It is like that you go into a shop and you are changing certain items into different, you are not buying also. You are putting certain items into other shelf and thinking, no worries. There are people here to arrange this bag. You are not buying also. You want to buy a chocolate and halfway of the experience you think, no, I'm not going to buy the chocolate. But you are lazy to go back and put the chocolate back into the shelf. You put it somewhere into the carrot place. Then chocolate is also going to be not nice, the smell and everything. Do you have metta for other people? Even you don't buy it. Waste management, as you said. So then that means organic food, what do you call plastic? What is that? Recycling, and then the other one is paper. This is the standardized way. So are we doing that? What is the purpose of this? One thing is we would like to love this Mother Earth, right? Not because of me or you. We should think about our future generation. Second is, so this helps the waste management people to execute their job properly. I remember in one of the temples that I was, one time due to someone's mistake, somebody left a bulb into the organic basket. So we have given the contract to a private company. So what they do when they bring this stuff and they go and then they put all that into a certain area, they found out there's a bulb. So we got a bill for 16,000 Canadian dollars because they are planning to recycle this food waste. Now because of this ignorant act, the whole thing is going to be in a mess, right? So bulb has to go somewhere else, battery should go somewhere else. So it helps us to understand. So we have to take care of others and oneself. That is the idea. So we have to reflect before we drop our garbage, trash or anything else. Then what are the other daily activities? I think it's good to understand daily activities where you don't practice this reflection. Yes. You mean helping the elders? Yeah, it is. Taking care of others is good. Yeah. But it depends. Now, back in the Western country, they don't like other people to help. You go and, hey, do you think I'm old? Don't come and help me. No? I'm still young. You think I'm old man, I can carry all that. So we have to be very careful. So it depends. You have to understand these elderly people in different places, what they want. But you have to keep your safe distance and then help. And then what about this part? Taking care of others' belongings. Sometimes other people, they are forgetful, absent-minded. They drop their money, they drop their wallet, purse. And then sometimes a lot of things are happening. Are we really trying to bring to the people who have the lost and found box? Are we returning that money? Sometimes when you check your bank account, I think you should be very lucky for that. Huh? You see $1 million has come to your bank account. What a surprise. Maybe it's true. I may have done enough good karma in past life. Right? Has come to my bank account. Right? So we're going to return that. Because that kind of nature is reflection. And then this one is interesting too. Kamisumichachara, respecting others' relationships. What is that? How to practice it? What are the problems? What are the ways how we can practice it? How to avoid temptations? How to understand the temptation is very important. Right? Not that I cannot help not doing it. Understanding temptation, how to work with it. Because if we are trying to step over to others' relationships and we may go through bad karma in next life. How? Breakups, divorces, and don't think that if you already divorced that maybe I must have done a bad karma. But we are very careful about this thing too. So why some people they are taken away by the opposite of these activities, because they are not reflecting enough. They are simply going for those activities. So actions. So by reflecting, before doing these things you reflect, during the time you reflect, and after also you reflect. So that is what we call by action part. And then we are going to the speech part. Maybe we can write here. Speech part, how many ways are there? We have to practice speech part. 4 ways. The first one is speaking the truth. Speaking truth. Second? Huh? That's the opposite side, bad side. We are talking this from the good side. This means united speech. Opposite is a divisive speech. Third one, pleasant speech. Pleasant speech. Fourth one, what is the opposite of gossiping? Fruitful speech. Okay. Are we trying our level best to speak the truth? But can we speak the truth all the time? Why is it? Are there people who should know my truth? Who should know your truth? Is it why? Or why we cannot sometimes speak the truth? Reason? I'm asking those people who just understood my point and they now become silent about it without giving me an example. Yes.
Because at some times speaking the truth will hurt a person.
Hurt other people. Okay. Such as? Give me an example.
Maybe something that, let's say in the family, when you know all the family members, when the person A speaks something about the other person, but because you know what is happening on the other side, but it's not for you to tell the person. So sometimes it's like, do you think I'm right? You can't say yes or no.
Yeah.
That's that time I feel that is not totally true, but that is a thing that doesn't hurt.
Okay, so number one, like that. Number one is safety. Safety of sometimes when we speak the truth, immediately there will be a commotion, fight is going to happen. We know it's happening. So by understanding that, we are going to delay the truth. Delay the truth. We have to say somewhere in the future, but delay the truth. What if that you see your neighbor is having a relationship with somebody and the spouse doesn't know, you are just giving a blind eye. I don't want to tell. You don't want to put your fingers into the unnecessary fields. Right? You don't want a busybody to not watch everything what people are doing. So, at times, as you said, we have to delay the truth. What are the other things we can do? That you cannot speak the truth. You have to do other things. You can delay the truth. How to delay the truth? Change the topic. Do you do that? That's being very smart. Huh? We have to practice Dhamma smart and not harder. Right? Why is it? Just this example. This someone is going to hurt somebody else on the road with a knife, maybe a gun, and chasing. So the person manages to come to a house and knock the door. Someone is following me. Can you please let me in? Otherwise, he or she will kill me. Yeah, you go, I practice Buddhism. I help you. There is a room, go underneath the bed. You be safe. Then that person also comes now, the person is following, and then, has somebody like this come into your house? Did you let me? Yeah, I practice Buddhism. I cannot lie to you. Yes, he came in. To be honest, I asked him to go to that room. He is under that bed. Something wrong somewhere in this example. What is that? That means we cannot speak the truth without understanding the circumstance. We can speak truth all the time, but there are certain circumstances we cannot tell the technicality of the truth. So we have to say something else, because our intentions are good. Our intentions are good. It's like someone is going to take off the life, what do you call?
Life jacket.
Huh?
Life vest.
Not the life jacket. What do people have in the deathbed sometime when they go to a coma? Life support. The doctors say now life support is not going to work. Somebody from family has to remove it. And that person knows once they remove the life support, this person is going to die. But intentions are different. Right? Intentions are different. So we cannot talk the truth that way. So we have to save the person first. So what are the other things? We can change the topic. We can delay the truth by that. Are there any other ways we can do? Rather telling a lie. Don't lie. Don't lie. But you can do other things for that. Delaying the truth in whatever smart ways. Change the topic. And then change the attention. And then, more importantly, opposite of the mindfulness practice, distracting the person. Right? Oh, these are smartful activities. Right? You always say, be mindful, be mindful. Why don't we distract people? For a good purpose. That is called to save other people. So, speaking the truth must be done in the proper way, by understanding the circumstances. Right? United speech. What is this? Normally there are some people who are trying to divide others. Normally the well-known people who are doing that could be politicians for their electoral plans. But are there normal people who are doing that? Why are they doing so? For their immediate, trivial benefits. That's a very bad karma. If you divide two people, right? Even in a relationship, you say two things to two people and they are breaking up because of that. They are breaking up, you are bringing your karma to the next life. Interesting, right? Your bad karma they are breaking up. So we should never break two people. How to break two people? Bad mouthing about somebody. Our Buddhist people always good mouthing about other people. Are they good mouthing or bad mouthing? When they get together for makan or whatever, are they bad mouthing or good mouthing? Are they gossiping? Bad mouthing? Sometimes. Why are they bad mouthing? They don't have mudita. This Brahma Vihar. Mudita means altruistic joy. Why do we want other people to be happy in our life? If we have, it's better. But if we don't have, we don't have to worry about other people. So There are people who might badmouth about other people. Sometimes there are others who are doing without knowing that they are doing. Right? So we have to reflect. Reflection is the key. When we reflect, this is not good to share with these people. I better not talk to these people about this. Reflection. Also, how to save other people by talking? Reflection. Reflect. This is not something good to talk to other people. I have to delay that because I reflect about. I know the results. Then, pleasant speech. Are the people around you in your house, at work, are they always pleasant to you in their speech? Or are they sometimes a little bit bullying you a little bit? Have you met bullies in your life? Huh? 1, 2, 3? Maybe more than that. Have you become very pleasant to other people in your speech when you talk to others? How to become pleasant to others in your speech? It's a very, not a rocket science, a very simple question. How to become pleasant in your speech? May I know? Not to hurt other people. We know the boundary, not to hurt other people. How we may hurt other people? By using harsh words. Harsh words. Actually, harsh words are musavada, right? They don't exist. Most of the harsh words are non-existing stuff. The bad ones, swear ones. And throwing some tantrums to other people just because you are unpleasant. Say for instance, you are late for your lunch in a restaurant. Restaurant is going to take the last order at 9:30 p.m. You are now at 9:25. Now you want to eat this food in this particular restaurant. But you know the last order is at 9:30, but you are now 9:25. Perhaps you will make it, perhaps you won't make it. You are hungry, angry. You are on the road now. What's going to happen? You are driving so crazily. You are honking sometimes. You are blaming why these people are so late. Maybe elderly people on the road. They don't drive as you wish. Where is the problem? Sometimes we are not organized enough and we put in blame on other people. This is one very big issue, to become unpleasant in our speeches. So we have to become pleasant in our speech by being organized. How to become organized in our speech? Understanding how to talk to other people. How to talk to other people is very important. So, reflection. You have to reflect how to talk to other people. You know, when you get along with certain people, some people would like to have a conversation this way, that way. So you understand their ways of talking. So, being pleasant. And then the fruitful speech. That means, this is very important. Time is very important in our life, isn't it? Dhamma practice is directly related to the time. We should not waste our practice on unnecessary things. As Buddhists, do we have cults? C-U-L-T-S, cults? Do we? Buddhists are not supposed to have cults. Maybe you may be another kind of people then. Probably you can name one of them without naming the exact name of them. What are the Buddhist cults? There were cults at the Buddha's time. There was one man who was eating like a dog and talking like a dog. How to talk like a dog? Bark. And then sleeping like a dog. And then another man saw this and asked the Buddha, Bhante, that man is behaving like a dog, barking, sleeping like a dog. So, what will happen to his next life? Because he is doing all that to become enlightened. The Buddha said, if he is behaving like a dog, he will become a dog in the next life. Right? And there was another man next to him. He was talking, eating like a cow. Eat and ruminate. You know, the cow style. and sleep like a cow, walk like a cow. And another man asked from the Buddha, Bhante, what is happening to this particular person in the next life? Oh, the habitual practice will become the next life. He will become a cow. So that means our time is very important. So we have to understand what practice are we doing. Are we starting from Yoniso Manasikara and then going to the Paccavekkhaṇā and Noble Eightfold Path? Otherwise we are wasting our time. The opposite of this is gossipers. But when we say fruitful speech, there is two gossipers, A gossiper, B gossiper. What about A gossiper is talking gossips to the B gossiper, B gossiper is in turn sharing gossips to the A gossiper, thinking fruitful speech for them. Right? Because A gossipers gossips are fruitful to the B gossiper. B gossipers gossips are fruitful to the A gossiper. Right? So I think it has to have a better naming. Maybe we have to put wholesome speech, right? That kind of a speech, right? So we should never waste our time. So there are two parts. Gossiping must be stopped, and then idle chatting must be stopped. There are people, now what time is it now? 9:50, we have 10 more minutes. Let's talk something else. Right? Just to spend the time. This time is very important. Alright, so these are the four things with regard to speech. So, having reflected, do the speech. Having reflected, do the actions. Now, mind. We come to the mind now. Last one. Okay? Mind. There are three things with regard to the mind we are doing. What is the first thing? The good one. Good side means generosity. Means dana. Dana thoughts. Always coming up with dana. So open-handed. Then second one is metta. Loving kindness. Third one is right view. Now, each time when you come up with a thought, you are thinking, reflecting, is this a dana thought? Is this a metta thought? Is this a thought regarding right view? Reflection help. What do you think about? Are you always coming up with dana thoughts? Oh, only on full moon, new moon, and on the dana date for the temple. Today we have to go and bring some dana. Today dana fellowship day, we will bring dana. Only dana thoughts come on that day. Other dates, you see beggars, poor people, no, not today, it'll be another day. Is it your dana way? Is it how you bring up dana thoughts? That's not nice. The Buddha said, this generosity must arise at all time in the proper way. Because Buddha said, two things to do with regard to dana. Dana and samvibhaga rata. Vibhaga. Dana means giving. Sometimes we cannot give, we don't have money. Maybe we cannot afford it. Then what we can do? We have something, we can share. Giving and sharing. Dana samvibhaga rata. Samvibhaga means sharing. So, if you look at your thoughts on a daily basis, what do you think? Are you having generous thoughts all the time during the day? Or then if you don't have, you must have greed-based thoughts. You must be, right? Can I know what are the thoughts that you are having in terms of giving and not giving in the daily basis, on a daily basis?
Experience riding the train. Experience riding the train.
Experience?
Riding the train.
Riding the train. How do you practice dana while riding the train?
Like you have designated space for, like, say, the disabled or the elderly.
Yeah.
So sometimes if the train is empty, you can see anywhere you like. But if you see somebody that is applicable to that seat, right?
Yeah.
You can do automatically vacate.
Yeah. Making way for those people. How to practice generosity on a daily basis, not on the dana date, not on the katina, not on the Vesak day, That's how many Buddhists do. They bring lots of things on that day. They want to fill the whole temple with the requisites. But other days, the Buddha said dana must be a daily activity, daily experience. So how to make dana? Maybe some of you might do it already. Let me know how you do it. How do you wake up early in the morning? How did you wake up today? Today you should be okay. Going to the retreat today, happy. Last night you must have gone to sleep early. How did the Buddha wake up early in the morning? He woke up and got up and then, who am I going to help today? Generosity. But what about some other people? Who am I going to disturb today? Right? So, compassion and dana thoughts, where are they? So you have to wake up by thinking, who am I going to help today? In the proper way. Sometimes be careful. When you help the wrong people, you might get targeted. There are scammers. We have to understand modern context. Right? So just because of wrong people, never destroy your good practice. There are people, when they scam one time, they never help other people after that. Right? So you have to understand, who are you going to help it. Don't think that we have to always find Mahasangha for being generous. If you find them, it's good, you offer, but you cannot find them all the time. And you cannot go to the Vihar offer dana all the days. Then you must practice it from your place. That's why it says charity begins at home, not from the temple. Let's say you, as a normal person, definitely you wake up, you are going to be generous. Then how to bring forward your generous thoughts? Who are you going to see early in the morning for the first time? Maybe your spouse, maybe yourself. You must mirror yourself very well. Go to a mirror and then see it. Because reflection means mirror-based activity. There's a mirror looking at me. Who am I? Right? And then I had to do lots of self-care for me. Do a metta practice. And then talk to your family members in a nice, kind way. Right? Not in that tone. Not in the normal way of you talk. The generosity comes like that. And other ways, to smile with your family members in the original organic ways. Be an organic smile. How to smile with an organic context, not like that laugh. Organic smile, very nice smile, comes from bottom of your heart. It's important. And then, as you said, making way for other riders on the train, giving that thing. And then you are driving, maybe giving space for those those people who want to go faster than you. And then, right. So you can practice dana in your daily activities. Dana is not just the time. And what about volunteering? Giving your time to certain places. And then other things, sharing your knowledge. There are many ways to become generous. So then, how to do that? You have to innovate your quality of that particular good thing. I always say, if you want to practice Dhamma, you need 3 things. First is commitment is very necessary. People are not committed that much. They come to the retreat sometime, they listen to Dhamma talk, and they forget everything. Yeah? They are not. And then the second thing is the problem, consistency. They are not consistent. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Right? Third thing is innovation. This is very interesting. Time to time we have to innovate in our Dhamma qualities. Dana, let's change the way how we think about the Dana while keeping the things that we've been doing. Right? We can be kind differently. So, we can practice generosity in a bit of new ways. Right? And then, metta thoughts. thoughts of loving kindness. Are you having lots of loving kindness, metta every day, or you are having the opposite time to time? Both. Why are both happening? At a time you know that you are supposed to be with metta. Why is it? Are you making conditions for those people? Saying that you are not deserving my metta? You're not the one for my metta. What is going on with that problem? So, now we reflect. When you reflect, you can give metta to anyone. If you don't reflect, you cannot. Only you do it for your own people. That's why this reflection, Paccavekkhaṇā, this Paccavekkhaṇā is very important. Because when you give the right attention to the proper things, and then you are understanding how to do it with Paccavekkhaṇā. Let's talk about metta a little bit. I think it's a very broader topic. Metta is an attitude. It's not just a meditation. How to stay with metta during the day? What are the barriers for this metta? Frustrations, disappointments are the biggest issues. At that point, what are we doing? Expectations are not working, and then we are frustrated. We are disappointed. So how to survive with metta in the face of disappointments and frustrations? It's a very good question, right? What are the disappointments that can happen to us? People don't listen to us. The loved ones, your loved ones won't listen to you. And then you see things are not happening the way you want, right? And sudden things are happening. Maybe you hear certain things that you don't like to hear. Maybe you get sick all of a sudden, right? Maybe your car is broken. You miss certain things in your life, right? So, how to survive your metta in the face of those disappointments? What could be a good motivation thing with regard to metta we can do so that we are not falling off from the metta practice? You can say, regardless of whatever the things are happening, I am going to stay on to my metta. Like what happened to the Buddha. Remember what happened to the Buddha? Sundari, there was a lady that the Jains, the Jains were very powerful groups. They sent one lady to the temple to create a mess. They asked, every evening you should go to the temple. You go do the puja and then listen to Dhamma talk. But this is a plan. This is a setup. And then after a couple of months, what they did was they killed the lady, James. And then they buried her under the Jetavanarama's pond. And they spread the word, where is Sundari anymore? She's not here. She's always in the temple. But now she's not to be seen. We think the Buddha or other monks may have done something wrong. So they created a mess. They created a mess. And then people started blaming the monks and the Buddha. These people who are going to Dhamma talks. And then what happened? People started blaming, kept blaming. And then Bhante Ananda asked the Buddha, Bhante, can we leave Savatthi? The Buddha said, no. What if this happens in that city too? He did not change his mind. See, the same things. A lot of people are sometimes become victimized by these things. We stay one more week. See what will happen on the 8th day. So people found out on the 8th day. This was a setup. So if Buddha was accused by these people this way, what about us? No matter what happens, I stay on to my metta practice. It's like one very cool story about Bernard Shaw, in English literature. They say sometimes Bernard Shaw's performances didn't go well. People started hooting. He also came down from the stage, he also hooting. I said, who are you hooting for? You are the one who composed this event. Right? I was not frustrated. I am with the people, I am with the audience. If I become separated from you guys, I become a part of the frustration. So, whenever you are going through the frustration, what if that you can come up with a nice smile and you understand that situation? So, then you can practice metta all the time. But if you become a perfectionist, you never. Right? This happens in many houses. Somebody notices that you are changing this thing over here. You cannot change like that. It has to be here. You cannot. I notice you change. This candle must be here. We cannot put it here. What's wrong with that? It can be moved anywhere. So if you practice Dhamma with a perfectionism, you will have lots of problems with you and other people. So you cannot practice it. And right view, finally. Right view means, what is right view? There are 10 things we have to believe in. As the Buddha said, believing in dana, believing in good karma, bad karma, believing in the deva and hellish beings, taking care of mother and father as an attitude. There are 10 things. So when we do all that, we can practice right view. But how is right view going to be possible? Only if you reflect. Only if you reflect. In Buddhism, taking care of mother and father is not just a return activity which mother and father did to you. It is a part of the right view. They are the greatest sources of the gratitude. And Buddha said in many places, you have 3 fields of merits. He used the word punya-ketta. Punya-ketta. Punya-ketta means field of merit. Where do you find this Pali word in your chanting? Where do you find this? Punya-ketta. Tell me where you find. Did you say it today morning? Looks like, Anuttaro punyakkettang lokassa. Punyakketta. So Sangha members are a field of merits. The Buddha said there are 2 other field of merits. Who are they? Mother, father, then Sangha members. What if someone is not taking care of one's mother and father? Only take care of the Sangha members. Never give any food to mother, father. Never bring them to a restaurant. Never make them feel happy. Never make them happy. Never make them feel happy. These are 2 Pali words. In Pali we have 2 words. Sukheti. Sukheti means make happy. You are make someone happy. Is it easy to make some other people happy? Not sometimes. But if you find the right person, is it easy to? You are going to make your parents happy, sukheti. Sometimes you make them happy, but they don't feel happy. We call this Pali word pineti. Feel happy. So the Buddha said you have to take care of mother, father first before going to the temple to give dana. Interesting, huh? The people don't know these things. That's why right view. Now we go back to the note again, just to finalize our talk. If you have any questions, you can ask in the afternoon after dana. Okay. Lack of reflection, if someone is not doing that, then they have this one. Paccavekkhaṇā, not discerning inherent qualities of the activities. Actions, speeches, and then what you call thoughts. Then Buddha in this sutta, Itta Dhamma Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya, Buddha says 10 things that are very important in our life. One of them happens when you don't have reflection. Wealth. Is wealth important to you? Money, wealth? Yes. Sloth and lack of initiative hinder the pursuit of wealth. If you are lazy, you are not making that. Is beauty very important to all of you? Has someone let go of the beauty already? You want to become more beautiful, right? Prettier. Right? So, a lack of adornment, decoration, obstruct. Is health important? Unsuitable activities. Is sila very important? Sila, ethical conduct is. What hinders sila? Bad friends. When you are with bad friends, it happens. Spiritual life important? Is it lack of indriya sangvara, sense restraint? Obstruct. So you should not do that. Is friendship very important? Yes. Dishonesty is the one which obstruct good friendship. Is learning very important? What kind of learning is very important? Wide learning, wide, W-I-D-E, not just learning. Because sometimes you learn a little, then it becomes more dangerous than you don't know anything about it. Don't learn half. This happens to many Buddhists. They learn a very little bit and they think they know everything, and then they become stuck into their own pit of less Dhamma knowledge. What is wide learning? Does it mean we have to learn all these suttas? No, you learn only the needy, important suttas. Right? Then, wisdom. Is wisdom important? Definitely. That means the obstruction is an unwillingness to listen and ask questions. That means I always encourage, ask questions. Don't be shy. If you're shy in the Dhamma practice, you will never make progress. But ask proper questions. Because time is important, right? Time is important. And then good qualities. Are good qualities very important? Yes. Lack of commitment and Paccavekkhaṇā, not doing Paccavekkhaṇā, hinder the development of good. That means Paccavekkhaṇā plays a bigger role. Because if you don't have Paccavekkhaṇā, none of the good qualities is going to take root and then work. Is heaven important to all of us? What if we don't become a Sotapanna in this life? Then definitely we should be happy until we attain Nibbana. So Paccavekkhaṇā is very important. Okay, now these are the same things we discussed today. I will tell you. When it comes to actions, how do you practice reflection? Does this action lead to my own pain, the pain of others, or the pain of both? You think about. Now I am going to take care of myself. I want to practice metta. Is it good for me? Is it good for other? When you have metta, is it good for other people? Yes. They should be benefited too. Is it good for the both of me and other people? Yes. Then good for me, good for others, good for both. No pain. It's happiness. If it results in akusala, that brings suffering, then such action this is not akusala. Then do it. If you recognize this action gives you happiness, gives happiness to others, gives happiness to both, it creates lots of happiness, you must do that action. So how to do these actions? This way, only through the support of Paccavekkhaṇā. Speech is the same, mind is the same. And finally, Buddha says to his son Rahula, when you train yourself like this, you will have two things, joy and gladness. You are happy day and night in skillful activity. There are two Pali words here. I'm going to write down here. What are the two Pali words? One is piti. Piti. Piti means joy. Then pamojja. Pamojja means gladness. Joy cannot come without gladness. Gladness creates joy. Pamojja is number one. That means when we are reflecting ourselves about our actions, speech and thoughts, we are coming to gladness. We are glad all the time. We become gladians. And then because of that gladness, we become happy. Actually, when you have a reflection practice every day, you are glad and then you are jovial. All right, the rest of the things are not very relevant at this point. So understanding everything starts with wise attention. Okay, so we'll take another 2-3 minutes to finalize this Dhamma talk about today. Now the question here is Paccavekkhaṇā's importance. Paccavekkhaṇā is only second to Yoniso Manasikara. That means Yoniso Manasikara means we always try to see the overall larger, broader picture of any event. How many people are saying, I pay attention to unnecessary details of something? There are people when they want to understand a certain person, activity, they are paying unnecessary attention to unnecessary things of the product. They don't catch the larger, broader, the full picture of that one. How many people out there who are only picking up the wrong things of other people, who cannot see the good side of other people? They always go by that black spot in the white space. Why do you pick up the black spot all the time? The board is very big, the whiteness. Let's talk about the good things of everybody. Don't pick up small, tiny things. Everybody is in their own journey to become better people. Right? So, Yoniso Manasikara means you are trying to understand things as a whole, not as a small thing, as a whole. Right? Say for instance, if I make it more simple, if somebody did something to you, you understand, try to understand the whole thing. If you do a kusala kamma, you try to understand the whole thing. So it's only about attention. Then Paccavekkhaṇā must be practice, reflection. That means now we have the right attention, wise attention. Now we have to know what will be the effect if I do this way, that way. If I do this way, that way. That comes with Paccavekkhaṇā. How to act, how to talk, how to think. I will finish this with an interesting point which I just mentioned in my talk, in the early part of my talk. I said Buddha had 3 types of training people. I normally share with my sutta study people. The first way is gentle way. Gentle way means Buddha is talking the good things and the good results of that activity. He said, always take care of other people. If you take care of other people and yourself, this will happen to you. Always take care of other people stuff, your stuff, this will happen to you. Nobody will rob your money, rob your stuff. You are safe. If you always take care of other people's relationships and yourself properly, and nothing bad will happen. If you always speak the truth, nobody will cheat you. There are some other people who are always being cheated by others. They are cheated in the house. When they go to the market, people in the market, they cheat them. When they go to the airport, people in the airport cheat them. Everywhere they go, they are cheated. What kind of bad karma is this? They never find out good people. Sometimes these are bad karmas. You have been a professional cheater in a previous life. Pro. Right? So that's why Buddha never cheat. Because things are coming up, this life or in the next life. You carry them forward like an interest. And then you are always eating, drinking to an extent that you can manage yourself. You can have a good judgment about what's happening. Not even alcohol, rice, pastry products, fermented food, drinks, distilled food and drinks. You are taking them to an extent you can manage yourself. So you can have a good judgment about what to do. So then you will not be unmindful in your life. Then Buddha said like that to somebody. This means gentle training. Sometimes Buddha understands this is not going to work for some people. So he has to use the harsh way. What is the harsh way? Not like the Zen people are using a stick and then grab you from behind. You are not meditating properly. You doze off. I saw you a couple times. You doze off. Buddha's harsh way is different. What is the Buddha's harsh way? He doesn't talk about good things and good results. He said, this is bad, killing is bad. If you kill, you will have a short life. this life or next. If you steal other people's stuff, it's bad. Your stuff will be wrong. If you sexually misbehave, and your dearly loved ones in the next life, in this life, will also do the same thing for you. If you lie, you will be cheated. If you engage in food and beverages too much, and this will happen to you. So Buddha is talking the opposite of the kusala activities and the results, drawbacks of the akusala activity. This is called harsh way. Now looking at that, many monks and Dhamma speakers do the harsh training for many devotees. They never talk about, say, hey, no to killing. Once they said that, that is harsh training. Sometimes there are people who need the both. So Buddha used gentle training and harsh training. But there is another category. There's a sutta for this, Kesi Sutta. Buddha said sometimes there may be somebody who I cannot train, very rarely. Then I have to execute my capital punishment. What is that? People are very scared. The man who asked the question was about, he's a horse trainer. He said, when horses don't listen to me, I kill the horse because I don't have lots of time to train this horse. I have lots of horses. Plus my father, mother have been having a very good business with regard to these horses. I don't like other people talk about that you have a bad horse. So I kill the horse. He's wondering, Buddha, what if you cannot train someone with the gentle training, no the harsh training, no the gentle harsh training? What would you do? I do the same thing what you do to the untrainable horse. You're going to kill him? Yeah. Monks, nuns, devotees. But I heard Samana Gautama, Buddha does not kill other people. He has lots of compassion, lots of metta. How would you say you kill? No, my killing and your killing are two types of killing. So he's more curious now. My killing is the day I understand the monk or the nun or the layperson, layman, laywoman does not listen to me, to my words, doesn't want to practice in the way how I say, I am going to stop advising them. Once I stop advising them, they are almost killed. They are killed at that point. They don't have the Kalyana Mitta friendship anymore. Did Buddha do that to somebody? He did. He did to someone. Who was he? Channa. The monk Channa, Channa. Who is Channa? Channa was his friend, charioteer, the cart driver. He became a monk after some time. But he expected Buddha will treat him better than other monks. Nepotism, favoritism. But Buddha said, no, I'm not going to treat you better because you don't have good karma. You haven't done this. He's always complaining about Arhan, Moggallana and Sarip. How come they came late, you gave all the big posts to them? It's not giving the post. They are karmically eligible for these two posts. You cannot do whatever the things Arhan Sariputta and Arhan Moggallana are doing over there. They are two disciples, chief disciples. They have been doing good karmas to this. You are simply expecting things just because you know me. I cannot do that. Something to learn. Don't favor other people. Favor the people who know the business, who know the subject. So, monk Channa did not listen to the Buddha. He said, no, I don't like what you do to me. You should do this to me. Then the Buddha said to other monks, so we have to do this. We have to give capital punishment to monk Channa. Then it took effect during the Buddha's time until the first Sanghayana. I think during the first Sanghayana, Arahan Mahakāśyapa said, we have to pity on him. Now it's been already, many monks don't talk to him. Let's pity on him, let's talk to him. I think he's better now. Right? That's how. So capital punishment. Fourth category. So I think Paccavekkhaṇā kind of training is possible. It's not difficult. Let's reflect and practice our, this part. When you practice Paccavekkhaṇā, you can become a better person, definitely on the spot. As time passes by, you can be definitely a better person. Okay, I think you may have lots of questions, but save those questions for afternoon because we are starting at 1:30 after lunch. and then you can ask these questions at that point. Now it's 11:20 almost, because we are supposed to have lunch by 11:30. Our plan is that you go to washroom, get ready, and then they will open that door by that time, maybe 11:25, 26. You take your bento and with the water bottle, come over here and sit down. We're going to eat together with the reflection. So may all the good karmas we be making this morning session by understanding, learning Paccavekkhaṇā, reflection, the need of reflection. We need to reflect before we act, before we talk, before we think. During we act, during we talk, during we think. After we act, after we talk, after we think. It must be used. Paccavekkhaṇā must be used at 3 times. That is how we're going to get better in terms of becoming mindful, more mindful, becoming a better person. May all these good karmas be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, now you can prepare yourself for the dharana time. Going to make it, huh? I think you have to change a lot. Better, it's okay, maybe you have another one over here.
Where the change it?
Turn off the camera. Yeah. Huh?